What's up, YouTube? What's up, Twitch? For this live stream right here, I will be talking about my Halo. I will talk about the DCU news that came out, just like Ezra getting arrested. And plus I will be talking about, in my opinion, what stuff we need to talk about. I think, in my opinion, the DCU is good, and about the Halo series and Moonknight episode 1, and plus this series right here, the Moonknight series. The first episode was good, I think, in my opinion, but it didn't. I think I think, in my opinion, is that they're not showing him going through the tombs and stuff like that, because I think it's two versions of Moonknight. There's two versions of Moonknight. I know there's two versions of Moonknight and stuff like that. Because like, I know, like, in Moonknight and stuff like that, like, there's one version of Moonknight, like, he got his powers for some kind of Egyptian tomb, or something like that. That's what I think, because two of them. And this movie right here was actually, and plus this actress right here, I actually like her in the movies and stuff like that, in the Black Widow movie, because it seemed like it wasn't about the Black Widow, had been about her coming in my opinion, which is actually good. And kind of like stuff outside for her to be in the MCU is like, I think that, in my opinion, that her stuff could be good. In my opinion, it could be good, could be bad for the MCU. But the only thing that I'm concentrating on, in my opinion, and that's just me. I'm just concentrated if she, as an actress, prior could bring some semblance, I think, or something like that, of just being a good Black Widow in the future. I think, in my opinion, it could be a good thing or a bad thing. But the thing about me, in my opinion, is like, I just hope this stuff just go away. I think, in my opinion, it could be a good thing, could be good, bad, everything else like that. And kind of like the thing, like, I want to see in the future dealing with this character right here is like, I want her to build relationships with the people in the Avengers thing. Sound like Scarlett Johansson did. But the thing about it is like, who gonna be the Avengers? Because I know she might be Avenger. I know that Hugh Steinfeld might be Avenger. Captain Marvel, unfortunately, my friend is gonna be Avenger, because my friend, because I saw her movie. She's not a good leader right now, in my opinion. That's my opinion. And kind of like this character right here, not her skills was good though inside the movie. I like her skills inside the movie though. Because I like her skills and everything like that. Her skills were good. Plus I like the skills. I like, and and and, and plus it seemed like her character was like feeling undeveloped up in a Black Widow movie, in my opinion, which was kind of confusing, in my opinion, because think about, if you look at it, And it kind of, in my opinion, up in the Black Widow movie, it seemed like, in my opinion, because it seemed like, in my opinion, and this kind of thing I don't like, in my opinion, if that if this character just got developed in Scarlett Johansson movie more than Scarlett Johansson, I think, in that movie, that, in my opinion, just was disappointing. Because the thing about me, the name of the movie was Black Widow, and that was a send off for Scarlett Johansson, and kind of like, for me, and kind of like, for me, in my opinion, if you supposed to be, and that's supposed to be your final movie up in the universe, and this character right here get more shine than you, in my opinion, then that is a kind of like a disappointment, in my opinion. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong every time I get about that. But that's just my opinion on it. And it kind of like the MCU, in my opinion, is not consistent with this stuff most of the time. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. And the WandaVision show that they are not consistent. And that's kind of like, which I seen most of the time, they're not consistent. And this character right here was likable. She was a likable character. That's not my problem with it. She was a likable character, but my problem was, in my opinion, it sounded like that was Scarlett Johansson last movie inside the MCU, and she seemed like that she was more of the star of the movie just than Scarlett Johansson, in my opinion. So I could be wrong. I could be wrong about that. If y'all think I'm wrong about that, then y'all can put it down below. If y'all think I'm wrong about this actress just being the star, everything like that, then what it seemed like. Like, in my opinion, cause it seemed like me, in my opinion, and it kind of seemed like, in my opinion, and stuff like that. That's just me. And it kind of like, in my opinion, that the stuff I want to see, in my opinion, was not good. Everything like that in the movie, because the action was good, but then, in my opinion, right, they made Taskmaster a lady, which is the wrong thing. I think, in my opinion, they did, because they should have kept Taskmaster a former agent that just turned against Shield, everything like that. That just me, in my opinion, though. That's what I just would have did. In my opinion, I just would have made the Taskmaster, uh, um, just one of them disgruntled agents that didn't like what Shield was doing. He turned against them, and that just me, in my opinion. That would have been like, a better storyline, I think, in my opinion, than we seeing right now. And that's kind of like a better storyline that we seeing right now, in my opinion. But everybody different on that. Because, like, some people think I'm wrong, some people think I'm right. But the thing about, in my opinion, is, like, I think this, which I think, in my opinion, that everybody's different, though. Everybody different on that. And kind of like in my opinion, right? Um, and that just me, in my opinion about that, and of my opinion. But the thing about this character right here, do got a potential to be better than the Scarlett Johansson Black Widow. But the thing about it just depends how the MCU do them, and that's kind of thing that kind of worries me because I know the MCU just not room some characters and just didn't put some characters in the MCU, but it put them in late, which I think, in my opinion, was kind of messed up. But it kind of like me, in my opinion. But that kind of like me, in my opinion. But that just me. That just me, in my opinion about it. But kind of like me, like in my opinion. But but the things that I like up in the universe is the stuff like in this universe, if she can do it, it's like I just hope they try to stick to the comic book version of her, and just hope that the MCU just don't put certain agendas and stuff like that, in my opinion. But knowing them, they might do it. If they don't do it and stuff like that, and they make the her character right, her characteristics right, in my opinion. And that's kind of like me, in my opinion. But everybody different on that. Some people like it, some people don't. And kind of like the next thing, and kind of next thing MCU, I want to see if they could actually like pull it off. Is like this character right here, Skyclops, because this character Skyclops needs to be done right in his first movie, in my opinion, for the MCU. Because we need a good casting, of my opinion. Because just they need to be good casting. Everybody different on that. And kind of like of my opinion and stuff like that. And like this one right here, this character right here, they need to show like this character Skyclops just being the good leader and knowing him, just being the good leader, and because it needs to show him, because it needs to show him just being a good leader, showing him coordinating the leadership. I think, in my opinion, could be good, bad, and everything else like that. Of my opinion, but in my opinion, if they like it, if they like the comic book on Skyclops, in my opinion, that they can do it. In my opinion, the MCU could do it, but the things I'm worrying about is like they might not do it the right way, and that's the kind of thing I'm worried about. Because shoot, and kind of like for me, right, in my opinion, but this character right here in the MCU need to be done right. Just for the X-Men's movie to be good, in my opinion, all 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 like, in my opinion, depend on this, in my opinion. Right there. That just me, in my opinion. That just me. Some people like it, some people don't. And kind of like my next opinion, which I like and stuff like that, is like if they could put Beast, this character right here up front, because the thing about it, the best Beast I seen was the Beast that was in X-Men 3. If he was in X-Men 2, then somebody probably can tell me down below everything like that. If he wasn't X-Men 2 or anything like that. And that's kind of like my opinion on it. But the thing about it, for most people, some people like it. Some people like it, some people don't. And kind of like in my opinion, stuff like that is like in my opinion, right? This one right here need to be good. And kind of like the next thing that we just need to do, like in my opinion, for an X-Men movie, it's like we need to make it to be like 3 or 4 movies based on the X-Men scene. But the thing is, if y'all want to do spin-offs based on the second or third movie, something like that, certain characters just doing certain missions, then that's what I'm cool with that too. But the only thing I'm worrying about doing the MCU is like the MCU, in my opinion, putting their own little agenda spin to it, which I think could be a good thing. But the only thing that I'm worrying about, in my opinion, is like how the MCU is just gonna tell the story of the X-Men's characters. And kind of like in my opinion and stuff like that. And kind of like in my opinion, I think the Jean Grey character could be better in this version because the best Jean Grey we got was the older ones. I think the older Jean Grey that came out with Hugh Jackman and stuff like that. That was the best portrayal of Jean Grey so far, and plus Sophie Turner was a good portrayal of just the younger Jean Grey. But it could be better. But in my opinion, it still was good at the same time. But the thing about it, some people like it. Some some people like her Jean Grey. Some people don't. But the thing about me is like I don't got no beef with Sophie Turner Jean Grey. I'm just worrying about the stories because the actors stuff be good in the movies. That's not my problem with the actors. I'm just worrying about the story that is between it, in my opinion. And that's just me. That's the only thing I'm worrying about. Because the only thing for me that I'm worrying about is like the stories. It's the story in the writing of the stuff. Because we seen good casting before, and plus the writing in the movie be bad, but the actors be good in it. If y'all know what I'm talking about, dealing with that and stuff like that. Because think about it, when you look at it, of my opinion, when you look at it, just in my opinion, but some people will like it, some people won't. But the thing about my opinion, if you try to do a character in each movie, in my opinion, close to the comic book characters, but you could put your spin to it, I'm good. I'm good with that. That's just me. And that's just me, in my opinion. And and kind of like thing for the X-Men. If you look at it, the X-Men's name itself is a universe in its own. If you look at the X-Men stories, look at the different X-Men groups that's in it. The X-Men stories is how can I say this? It just a group of its own, in my opinion. It is. It is a universe in its own. It got different mutants, different powers, and plus the most popular mutants that's in the X-Men right now and underrated. The most popular ones is like Wolverine, Cyclops, Beast is kind of popular, Jean Grey kind of popular, Jubilee. The Jubilee is really popular in my opinion because of the X-Men anime series and stuff like that. Because think about it, people did like her in the comic books, but the thing is like more people had like her up in the X-Men anime series in the 90s. But it pushed me making an anime series, I think. It pushed me coming out with an anime series, I think, on Disney Plus. Continue the 90s X-Men, which I'm kind of scared of. Because that's what, if we know anything about redoes and stuff like that, if the writing and everything is not good, and plus the person, and for the person that writing the show, just don't give no kind of control. I think, in my opinion, but that's just me. Up in my opinions and stuff like that. Up in my opinion, some people like it. Some people, if they do an X-Men universe of its own, then that would mean that it could be a whole new set of fans growing up looking at the movies and stuff like that. My opinion, just me. If you do, you do. You don't, you don't. But think about it for me, which I do like dealing with movies and stuff like that. If we can actually get it right, if we can actually get it right in the future, which I think we could, if we could get like the Iceman character, the older Iceman was good, but the things in my opinion, the older Iceman needed just more confidence. Cause you looking at one of the anime cartoons, that Iceman was good in anime, but the real life one kind of like he was confident, but he wasn't like really confident like the one that wasn't an animated one, and the one that wasn't real games I think too was better. But the one in live action wasn't bad either. But that's just me. But some other people just don't like the older how can I say this? They don't like the old Iceman that was in the older ones, but I did. But everybody different based on that. I might have liked them, but things like other people didn't like them in my opinion, and that just my opinion on it. That because think about it, if they bring in the same Iceman that was in the older one, I think that character, I think the man who played out Iceman might need to bring just a little bit more flair to the Iceman character. Just be serious. I think just lighten up a little bit. If the MCU just want to tell jokes during the fight, cause that's what if we look at the one in the animated version of Iceman, he was actually good. He was serious and kind of like a jokey type, but everybody different based on that though. But some people like it, some people don't like it. But then, but I like him. I like when Otis being serious. I think, in my opinion, that was actually just what serious that called for. I think, in my opinion, that's actually a good thing because that's just me. Because should that just me, in my opinion. That some people like it, some people don't. And kind of like the next thing that shoot, I just want to see that, like in my opinion, um, and kind of like the next thing that MCU might need to get right, in my opinion, if they're gonna do it, they need to, like in my opinion, get a better leader than Captain Marvel. I think, in my opinion, and, and, and make sure that next season of Loki is actually good. That's just me, because the first season of Loki, just was all right, but the second season of Loki need to be better than the first one. Rather we like it or not, they need a better they need a better Loki season in the second season. And plus bring the Ant-Man in too. They bring an Ant-Man, they bring an Ant-Man, and stuff like that. And kind of like, for me, in my opinion, and plus this movie right here, the Batman movie, and just in case y'all don't see it, this Batman movie wasn't bad, in my opinion. It wasn't a bad Batman movie, but I think this is a different Earth 2 Batman. I think, in my opinion, if we need a Ben Affleck version of Batman, in my opinion, to come out, because this version of Batman wasn't bad, but it was a good movie to be like a good origin movie, and plus, and for my opinion, it was a different take to it too. This Batman here was different take, but in my opinion, this Batman should have had more fighting skills, in my opinion, and he should have been able to adapt, in my opinion, to his environment a lot better. I think this Bat was a good movie, because I give Batman an 8. No, a 4 out of 5, in my opinion. A 4 out of 5 is my rating for it. But then, in my opinion, like, shoot, I do got problems with the movie, and that just me, and that just me, in my opinion on it. Um, and kind of like the next movie dealing with the Batman, I think the Batman stuff, I think, in my opinion, could have been better, which I think, in my opinion, right, could have been better. The Batman stuff, the they should have showing him, in my opinion, um, showing him stopping petty crime and stuff like that, in my opinion. Besides the one we saw, because I think if we look at it, since the movie been about 2 hours or something, it if I was a director of that movie, that I would have been showing Batman starting small, getting bigger and stuff like that, of him stopping certain crimes, I think, that happened in Gotham, in my opinion, and that would have been a good thing. Up up in my opinion, everybody different. Up in my opinion, but everybody different on that. And that's kind of like, for me, that, and kind of like the suit. The suit in the movie looked good. But the thing about the bat is like the gun doing the bat and stuff like that. I don't like the gun being the bat symbol and stuff like that. He need to build his own bat symbol and just put it right there, which I think, in my opinion, would have been better. But the thing about it, everybody different on that. Some people like it, some people don't. But the thing about I don't like the best symbol being the gun that killed his parents. I think, in my opinion, was kind of like the bad thing, and that's kind of like the one of the bad things that I didn't like about the movie, which I think, in my opinion, could have been good or bad, but which which I think, in my opinion, which I think, in my opinion, could have been better, and that could have been better, in my opinion. But this movie right here was a good movie. If y'all didn't see the movie yet, then I would actually look at it. I would actually look at the movie, make sure the movie is good, which I think, in my opinion, that could be a good movie. That could be a good movie, which I think, in my opinion, it could be. Which I like, everything like that. Dealing with the movies, and anything else like that. With some people might like it, some people don't. But the thing about it, in my opinion, but if they're gonna bring in a Robin or anything like that, like the Robin can't be a kid, which I think he can't be a kid though. That's just me. Because then, like, if you got to bring in a Robin inside this movie, and this can be a problem, in my opinion. If you gonna bring in a kid Robin, because you need to bring in a grown Robin, a young adult Robin, I think, in my opinion. But the thing, which would have been, which I think, in my opinion, would be a good thing. But everybody different on that. But kind of like, some people want to see comic book Robin. But think about it, if I was making a movie about Batman and things like that, and a Robin, my Robin would not be a kid. I hate to disappoint people. If he making a movie about a Robin, I think next movie, and he putting a Robin in it, they need to, like, in my opinion, make the Robin a grown person or a young adult, because you can't make them, because you can't make him a kid. You can't. Not in this Gotham, because this Gotham is a beast. This Gotham is dark, and this Gotham I see just will warp a child mind. And just see the Joker too. The Joker, the on the Joker cut scene and stuff like that. Where I see it, man, shoot, and ain't no child gonna be able to in my opinion, stop that. They'll be able to stop that. I think, in my opinion, and that just me. That's just my opinion about that. But think about it, if some people like it, they like it. They don't, they don't. Uh, 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 kind of like, in my opinion, right? That the second movie villain, I think, like somebody had said a screen or two ago, they could bring Killer Croc, Mister Freeze, and anything, everything else like that. And I think it was Daniel Martin. I think Daniel Martin or somebody, I think, had said it. They bring Killer Croc and some of the newer characters, I think, that usually don't get used. Because think about it, I would say the Joker to like the third film, I think, the third or fourth, depending on how much they're doing. Which I think, in my opinion, could be a good or a bad thing. But the thing is, it just depends on how much they're using, with which characters, and which story they're using at the time. And kind of thing that scares me about the Batman movies is like, I hope Matt Reeves actually, um I hope Matt Reeves can actually make this movie a little bit shorter and not make it 2 hours. And I'll make it 2 hours, the longest as long as you put a little, just a little bit more action to it, which I think, in my opinion, could be a good thing. In my opinion, that, that, that just put a little bit more action to it, and that'd be a good thing. That if they put like a little bit more action just to the Batman movies, then the people just won't mind the long runtime, which I think, in my opinion, could be a good thing, in my opinion. But some people think the movie was boring. Some people think it wasn't. But the thing about my opinion about that is, like, if y'all can look at Endgame for about almost 3 hours or something like that, and don't call it boring, because that's what it was, a whole hour in between the movies, in my opinion, when the movie was slow and dragging, and nobody had say nothing about that. But they complain about an origin Batman movie, which you need, long runtime to, like, in my opinion, do it. In my opinion, everybody different on that, but that's just me. But think about it, if you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. And kind of like the next thing that shoot, I just want to see doing DCU is, like, I want to see how the Supergirl, and how this character right here, Supergirl, is going to be used in Flashpoint. Because that's just me. Because, like, the next one on the Supergirl who's in Flashpoint, I want to know which version of it, which version of Supergirl this is. Because think about I know that Supergirl is not in the same Earth as this Prime Earth Flash, because that's what she was. And she helped with the just with the populace people came down and invaded. That make her a bad hero, in my opinion. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could be right. And kind of like, for me, it like the actress they pick her to play her. I didn't like the cutting of the hair, everything like that, but they do it because it's in the comic books. But the thing about me, some things I think, in my opinion, that you shouldn't put that you shouldn't bring everything to the comic book to screen. And that's just my opinion of it. Because the thing about it, in my opinion, and stuff like that, I think this character right here, this Supergirl, could be like a breakout star. Which I think, in my opinion, she could be a breakout star in the Flashpoint movie. That and that just one of my predictions. What I think from a Flashpoint, if they actually write the story right, everything like that, and have the settings and screens and stuff like that, and, and that just in my opinion, stuff like that. And kind of like, in my opinion, the next thing that shoot, I just want to see from this character Supergirl is, like in my opinion, I want to hear what her villains is, in my opinion, because the thing about it, I want to hear, in my opinion, what her villains is in the universe. And that just, in my opinion about it, what's her villains at, and what her villains and where's her villains helping this Flash villain. I think that in this movie break down the Speed Force, everything like that. Because if it was, shoot, because if it was, that's gonna be a problem in the future for Flash. Because everybody, if you see all the Flashes, everything like that, this Flash can't fight. This Flash gonna push people, everything like that. But the thing about it, I just hope in this movie that this Flash got some fighting skills, at least a little bit, of fighting skills, in my opinion, a little bit of fighting skills. Because the thing about, in my opinion, about that, the whole thing is like because if you got fighting skills and everything like that, as a species, then that doesn't make you dangerous. Because think about it, if you see Injustice 2 Flash, and just the 2 Flash got some speed, and plus you know how to hit. And that's the thing that shoot I want to see up in the universe, in my opinion. I want to see that Flash. I want to see that Flash, in my opinion, inside the movies, in the Flashpoint movie. Have at least some type of in my opinion. Up in my opinion, that could be a good thing. Everything like that. If that should be a breakout hit in the movie, then she probably get her own movie or something like that. Or she could have been like the Supergirl that was inside the pod in Man of Steel. If y'all saw Man of Steel, y'all see the pod open up. That could have been her, in my opinion, because that's what. If that's not her, everything like that, then that means that it's another Supergirl. I think someone else in the universe, which I think it could be. But the thing about it, just for Henry Cavill on universe, it's like they need to cast Supergirl for his universe as well, which I think, in my opinion, could be a good thing or a bad thing. But that's just me, because because that's just me, in my opinion. And and kind of like for me, in my opinion, and kind of the next thing that I just want to talk about is kind of like the I want to give my review on the Moonknight show right here. This Moonknight show right here, the first episode was good. I like the first episode. The first episode, Moonknight, was good. But the thing about my opinion is like I wanted to see his origin, him going to Egypt and stuff like that, and just discovering the Moonknight stuff. I think, in my opinion, of him just getting the power. But it seemed like in this, my power is like the It seemed like in this episode they was cutting out the things that he was doing. If y'all know what I'm talking about, stuff like that. And it was kind of like, for me, right, an opinion about that is like, in my opinion, stuff like that is, and like the next thing that I want to see in the next episode, it's like when he black out, I wanted to see how do the earth personalities fight in the episodes. Because the thing about it, this what I'm seeing. I'm just seeing like blacking out, everybody dead, blacking out, everybody everybody scared of him. That's what I want to see him fight. I want to see. I want to see. I want to see, in my opinion, the other two personalities fight. That's just me. Y'all can like it or not. Y'all can like me or not for saying it. That's what we need to see the other two personalities on screen instead of the first episode. They keep on cutting off the they keep on cutting every time his personality change. I like the way that they edit that part, but the thing about it is like we need to change. I think, in my opinion, because they need to change like certain stuff. In my opinion, certain stuff they need to change it. Which I think, in my opinion, that his suit, I like the I like the way the poster was in this thing. Because think about it, when you look at this episode seemed like it was introducing his first character and stuff like that, and he don't know what happened, everything else like that to himself, and that's kind of like the thing that I want to see is solid stuff. Like he think it's one day, but that's what it's another day and stuff like that. And he supposed to had a if y'all saw the episode, he supposed to had a date with somebody and he missed it because he blacked out and stuff like that. Because think about he kind of blacked out, in my opinion, and that's just my opinion about it. And kind of like when in up in the next episode, if they gonna show him struggle with different stuff, I need to see. I need to see just the physiological differences in between the both sides, in my opinion. Because thing about, in my opinion about that is like if they can show like a new episode, like how do each side just got a different opinion of what to do. Because you look at it, they said that this hero got a multi-personality thing or something like that. A multi-personality disorder, I think something like schizophrenia. But the thing about it, how does schizophrenia become a hero? But but he not schizophrenic though, really. He just got like a different personalities, and those different personalities got sense, in my opinion. Of my opinion, it could be a good thing. Could be a good or a bad thing. But thing about this character right here, that I kind of like him in the comic books and stuff like that, and kind of like in the comic books, he's a powerful character in the comic books. He kind of like the powerful characters in comic books and stuff like that. And kind of like for me, right? In my opinion about that, and kind of like next thing that sure I just want to see doing this character run in the episode is like I want to see him, in my opinion, how do his first personality accept it. Because then, like, if you look at it, um you kind of got to, and he got to accept um the big old Nubus thing is kind of like in control in certain ways, and he got to find a way, like in my opinion, just to control himself, which I think that he can learn how to do. Up in my opinion, because it seemed like the first player to him got to learn how to control the other two, which I think, in my opinion, could be a good thing or a bad thing. And kind of like the main thing that shoot I just want to see this character next one is like they got to show what happened during that bathroom scene at the end of this episode. That just me. they got to show it. Because think about it, when he busts in and he start transforming, they didn't show what happened they, they didn't show what happened just doing the bathroom scene and stuff like that. What happened, and that just me in my opinion about it. But everybody different on it. Everybody different, but if people like it, if if people like that short bathroom scene of him beating them up, but I did like the scene. But the thing is, I think that scene was too short, and they should have showed him transforming and fighting the monster. But the thing with the next episode, I hope they actually show it what happened inside that bathroom and stuff like that scene, which I think, in my opinion, could be a good thing. But that could be a good thing or a bad thing. But everybody different on it. Everybody different on that fight scene in the bathroom because some people think it was a good way to end the episode. But the thing about me is like end the episode on the fight wasn't the bad thing for me. The bad thing for me was just like, in my opinion, that some is not trying to see that just with the other two episodes, what do the other two personalities actually do, just when Mark is not in control, in my opinion. When he's not in control, they got to show, in my opinion, what he do, in my opinion. Because you got to show it. Because think about it, some people might like it, some people might not. So think about it, if people like it, people like it. They don't, they don't. And kind of like the next thing that shoot on, because the next thing that shoot, I just want to do like it in my opinion, if they can actually show it, is like in that they need to show the violence in this show, because just showing blood and stuff like that and not actually doing the stuff like that inside the episode, it needs to be something like Peacemaker, in my opinion. If they could do something close to Peacemaker and stuff like that, then I'm good. And some of the music they had shown during the episode was kind of like off too, but I liked the episode. But the music during the chase scene seemed like a kid type music. But I had to remember it's Disney Plus, and they don't want parents to get too mad, which is kind of dumb in a way, because if you look at it, it's the Moonknight character, and the Moonknight character is not a kid character. And that's kind of like the thing that Disney does kind of struggle with. But the thing about, if you look at it, it is not like a regular character. The Moonknight character, the Moonknight character is like a radar character. But the thing about telling by this episode, it seems like this series is gonna be a PG-13 episode, a PG-13 series. I think, in my opinion, there's gonna be a PG-13 series, rather we like it or not, because like for everybody who wants to see a rated R Moonknight, I feel sorry for you, because you're not about to see that too much soon. Because you're not really seeing, because they might, so you're not really see a rated R Moonknight. So you might get PG-13 if you're lucky. Moonknight, you might get PG-13, and that's the closest that you might get just to a Moonknight. I think, in my opinion, that's the closest thing you might get. Rather we like it or not, that's the closest thing we get. And kind of like the main thing that shoot, I just want to see like in the future, this character, the Moonknight, is like, how would this character blend in with the other Avengers if he ended up being the Avenger? Because we know that Moon Knight got three different personalities, and we don't know that the Avengers could trust him or not like that. Because in my opinion, if he go off the rails, if he go off the rails, he got me a problem. Unless the Hawk down into the fight or something like that, he is gonna be a problem if Moon Knight go off the trails, in my opinion. And this Hawk trash anyway. It just what we seen from this universe, and this Hawk ain't that strong anyway. Cause we got Professor Hawk, and that's what, and that's what, and plus Professor Hawk is not no joke either. But the thing about it, the MCU is making him seem weak. But that's why in the comic books he's not that weak. He's not that weak to me in the comic books and stuff like that. He just weak in the MCU because the MCU don't want to bring out the don't want to bring him out to be his full strength, Professor Hawk. And that's kind of like the thing that I hate seeing so far. I hate seeing it. I hate seeing it, in my opinion, that that Hawk is not being the Hawk no more, because it seems like this Hawk is being like a Disney toy brand. I think, in my opinion, just instead of my opinion, just being the Hawk, which is kind of disappointing in my opinion, because think about it, people like Avengers Hawk and people like Avengers Ultron Hawk, those two Hawks I like. And that's kind of thing that's kind of get me right now. And that's kind of thing that get me right now, though. That's why I don't get. And kind of thing that, so I'm trying to figure out, yeah, like in my opinion and stuff like that. It's like, how is all these Hawks coming up? How we got She-Hulk? Yeah, She-Hulk got me a comedy, which is kind of dumb in my opinion. Give me a comedy because that's what she's a lawyer. You supposed to make the show kind of serious and not like a comedy and something like that, in my opinion. Why would you make it a comedy though? That makes no sense. That makes no sense in my opinion. Make it a comedy. That's just me, in my opinion, about that. But the thing about it, everybody different on that. And kind of like, in my opinion, that's kind of like a bad thing, bad, good thing, and stuff like that. But everybody different on that point. But everybody different on that point, and stuff like that. Which I think, in my opinion, could be a good or bad thing, anything like that. But this character right here, what I've seen so far in the show, could be a good show. It could be a good Disney Plus show so far. The first episode was not a disappointment, just like WandaVision, because it wasn't like a disappointment or nothing like that. It wasn't. It's kind of like, for some people think it was disappointment, but the thing about me is like, I don't think, in my opinion, it's disappointment, in my opinion. But think about it, but everybody different on that. I don't think that it is a big disappointment to me, in my opinion, that this Moonknight character in the first episode wasn't that the show didn't waste my time, not like that. The episode was good in the first episode, but the thing about it is like, shoot, I just hope the second episode built on the big on momentum the first episode did, which I think, in my opinion, it should. Because if it don't, I gonna be disappointment, and this gonna be like in WandaVision category, in my opinion. And kind of like the next thing that I want to talk about is the Halo show right here. This show right here, the Halo show. Some of my predictions, some of this I think coming up for this episode is, which I think that with Master Chief, I think, in my opinion, he gotta figure out just some secrets, I think, or something like that. What the Covenant is going after, then he gonna have to go back, tell his team, tell the people, and just tell the people what's going on and stuff like that with the Covenant. And because I just think that his memories, which I think, in my opinion, could be the key of saving the people, which I think, in my opinion, saving countless lives, his memories could be the key to it. And he trying to find answers, I think, in my opinion. And kind of like the person who's going with him, I think, in my opinion, could be a prisoner or a partner, anything like that. That could be a good thing, but everybody different on that, which I think, for me, it's a good thing. And kind of like, in my opinion, I do think that some of these people in the show and the enemies right here, if you see that creature right here, the Covenant creature right there, I think those creatures is gonna be a problem throughout the series, I think, or something like that. For like different colonies that's not prepared for it, which I think, in my opinion, could be a good or a bad thing, anything like that. Could be a good or a bad thing. But the thing about, for me, right, which I waiting on, is something like Cortana, which I think supposed to be coming. I think that, in my opinion, is that Bill Cortana might be coming in second or third episode. That what I thinking that could be coming. And plus this program, Cortana could be like a game changer for the show, or just for Master Chief to guide him, I think, and help him out throughout his adventures. I think, could be a good thing. And kind of like the people that I think that could be like a multifaceted character that you might not like, is this doctor right here, because this doctor seems like that she care about the Spartans, but it kind of saying at the same time that she don't care about at the same time. That she just care about the experiment. She just care about, how can I say this? She just care about the means to an end. I think, if y'all know how I mean by that. Because the thing about, for me, right, which I think could be a good, which could be a good or a bad thing, something like that. It is that this doctor lady right here, because this doctor lady right here, with the scientist right here, she could be, because she could be going good, going bad. It just depends on, in my opinion, how she is manipulating the brains of the Spartans. What I think, because think about it, if you look at Master Chief, because it kind of seems like he forgot everything, and he was sound like a robot, and anything else like that. Which kind of seemed like, for me, in my opinion, but the thing about, for me, it could be a good thing for me. It could be good, bad, and everything in between, which I think could be a good thing. It could be good, bad, and everything between, which I think, for me, in my opinion, it could be good. It could be good or bad. And kind of like the things that it is that I want to see during the series is like I want to see the faces of just all the rest of the team, since we saw Master Chief face, or they shouldn't show it. It just either way how the show want to do it, in my opinion. And kind of like the stuff that and plus for me, and I want to see how do the Spartans hunt down other Spartans. I think, in my opinion, and how do Master Chief plan on getting out of getting court martial, in my opinion, because think about it, if he get caught, if he go back to that base, it seemed like to me he might get court martial or kick out, something like that. If he don't get kicked out, he might get demoted or something like that. It just depends. It just depends. Like, I think, in my opinion, and that just me. In my opinion about it, and Master Chief, in my opinion, is one of the most iconic video game characters of all times. He one of them. He is one of the most iconic video game characters, which I think it says something based on all the video games come out in all the years, and put this character, Master Chief, and sticking out as one of the video game characters and stuff like that. That could be a good thing, in my opinion, for him to be for him to be iconic and be this show and stuff like that. It's good. And kind of like the main things that I just want to see in the future. And kind of like for me, right, in my opinion, like for me, right, in my opinion, stuff like that. And plus, I think this show right here could be this show, the Halo show right here could be a hit if the writing, the action, and everything else end up being good. Long as the action good and the writing, and make sure that the show makes sense, I'm cool with it. Make sure the show makes sense. Shoot. Cause thing in my opinion, shoot, you got make sure the show makes sense. Make sure the show makes sense, in my opinion. The Halo show makes sense. Make sure the writing, make sure the action good, make sure the action got purpose, and make sure that the big old supporting characters around them is good, in my opinion. Because think about it, if the main character good and the rest of the show is bad, that make it a bad show, in my opinion. But the thing about, for me, is like and kind of like for me, that could be a good, bad thing or something like that. But the thing about me, about this show is like this show right here is not. It's not a bad show. It's not a bad show, in my opinion. And it could be better in certain parts in the first episode, but the thing about it could be a bad show. Could be bad, could be good. But the thing about it all depends on y'all and anything like that. If y'all want the show, it could be a bad show if y'all go and just hate watching and stuff like that. It's not like the video game. That's what people. You can't bring everything for the video game you spent having a video game inside the show. Because thing about it, on certain things in real life you can't do in the show. And something for the video games you can't bring it onto screen. If you wanted to do that, then so you probably should ask for one of them animated Halos. And the anime Halo stuff is good, in my opinion, too. Because think about it, if this show, if this show right here end up being a hit, and y'all should look at the show, in my opinion, and give it a chance, and just don't go and just hate watching it. The show could be like real good, in my opinion. It could be like a real good show. It could be like a real good show, in my opinion. And that just me, in my opinion, about it. But everything good. Yeah. And that could be a good thing. And that could be a good thing. Like in my opinion. Um some people might like it, some people might not. But this show right here could be like a real good hit. Which I think, in my opinion, and this Halo show, which I think if they could do like the on the Covenant, just how the Covenant do stuff, and just show like different ranks in the Covenants, because we know it's some regular soldiers, ones in between, and some elite soldiers, in my opinion. Because think about it, it it is like different ranks of Covenants. If y'all seen the video games and everything like that, and different alien types, if they can show that throughout this series and stuff like that, and make sure the writing, and the purpose of the action be there, I'm cool with the show. And that's just me. Because think about the first episode, I did I did a big old review on the first episode on my channel, Zero Nation One. If y'all want to look at it, I waiting on episode 2. Because think about on the Moonknight show, I'm not gonna do no review on it. I'm just gonna do my review on my live streams on Moonknight, like I did today. And kind of like for me, right, which I want to see, like in my opinion, I just want to see, like in my opinion, how do this series right here involve the Halo franchise without disrespecting the video game stuff like that. If you do that, I'm cool with it. I'm good. And plus, to end this review right here, by the end of this show, I think that big old Cortana, Master Chief, is gonna be working together, and plus the girl that came from that village, she gonna be part of the base and everything like that. But she might not join the team and not like that. But she gonna be one of the citizens of just a Master Chief live. But I think, in my opinion, that she might work for him. I think something like that, as some kind of farmer or something like that, farmer or some kind of paperwork or a soldier or anything like that. But that's just me, in my opinion, about that. Or some kind of ambassador she could be, just for the citizens outside that other people, which I think, in my opinion, could be a good thing. But that's just me. That's just me. And for everybody, if y'all got our ratings for it, which I think this series could be at the end, because my rating for the series could be like a B plus. It's the highest I give it. If this series end up being better than a B plus, then I will do a full on review. Just in the reason why I was wrong. YouTube, Twitch. I'll see y'all later. See y'all later, and see y'all next video.